Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Daily Manhwas, and I hope you enjoy this video. Parazelline is a game with over 10 billion players. Our protagonist is like a bug, an unbeatable boss, a celestial conspiracy to exterminate the human race. Our protagonist is Yululi, who used to work in the world's largest video game company with a salary of tens of millions, but he left his job to find his lost brother inside the game. However, this time was different from the other times he played. This time, due to an error, he started as a small skeleton facing countless bosses, and he was on the verge of death several times. But that wasn't the worst part, he was the main target of all the players in the game. The story begins with a player facing an elite boss. The boss was tired of the player just running away, so he attacked with his ultimate strike. To his surprise, the player dodged the attack and activated his skill, reducing the boss's speed by 30% for 5 seconds. Quickly seizing the opportunity, the player swiftly defeated the boss. As a reward for defeating the boss, the system granted him the boss's sword. The player felt very fortunate as it was his first day in the game, and he had already obtained a high-level weapon. In this game, all players had an assistant elf. The assistant informed him that a limited time event had started. The limited time boss was tough, but it was a good opportunity for the player to test his new sword. However, he wasn't the only player going after the boss, as all the players in the area were heading toward it. While on his way to the boss, a valuable purple item dropped from the sky. Purple items were very valuable, some even costing over $10,000. He quickly approached the location where the item had fallen and was surprised to find several high-level weapons. It was the best day of his life, but his happiness didn't last long as he was killed due to dropping his guard and lost all his equipment. He was killed by the limited-time boss called the Blood Moonwalker, a boss with a total of 418 kills. All the players in the area rushed to the boss with 1 minute left in the event. Several players attacked, but the boss was too fast, so defeating these players wasn't very difficult. Seeing that the boss was very powerful, several players decided to attack as a group. As expected, the boss defeated the players with great speed. The remaining players tried to escape, but the boss didn't let any of them get away and defeated them all. He is Lu Lai, a game development director at the world's largest video game company, but he left his job to search for his lost brother. His boss didn't want to lose his best talent, so he instructed his secretary, Wang, to add 20 million to his compensation package. After many years, he finally had a clue about his older brother's disappearance, and he was determined to find him. When he stepped out onto the street, Lu Lai couldn't remember where he lived, as he was a workaholic and only returned home once every 2 years. At Ah Fei's house, Lu Lai's younger brother, Ah Fei's girlfriend, broke up with him for cheating with other women. Ah Fei was not someone who cared much about the cleanliness of his home. Lu Lai told his younger brother that he had found a clue about their older brother's disappearance. Today was the launch of the game Fantasy Moon, and Ah Fei had already prepared all the necessary equipment for the game's release. His older brother's disappearance was related to this game. As midnight approached, the game was officially launched to the public. Lu Lai and Ah Fei put on their virtual reality suits and entered the game. Both appeared in the beginner's village of Maudlin. Lu Lai started as a level 1 novice with no class, while Ah Fei had already made a friend. Ah Fei asked Lu Lai to form a team to complete the novice missions together with the three of them, but Lu Lai refused because he had important things to do first. He called the game's virtual assistant named CC and opened the special redemption code window. He used a special password and received 3 items in his inbox. The virtual assistant couldn't recognize the 3 items because they were cheats created by Lu Lai. The game had a good anti-cheat system, but Lu Lai had hidden these codes so he couldn't be banned. The first item was an omniscient bracelet, which allowed him to obtain a random ability each time he leveled up the quality of his equipment. Lu Lai asked CC to hide the bracelet as it was too conspicuous. The second item was the Codex of Random Achievements, which generated random achievements every 10 levels. And the third item was Asura's invitation to Chen, a hidden story in the game. Lu Lai's older brother had obtained this item during the closed beta of the game. Lu Lai had spent almost 2 years at the gaming company just to get this item. This item was the origin of his older brother's disappearance. He opened the item and changed his current profession to Aura. His heart stopped, and 4 hooded skeletons appeared and stabbed him. The system started to malfunction. Desperate, Lu Lai tried to exit the game, but the system didn't respond. He appeared in the body of a level 1 skeleton, and an epic level boss appeared beside him. He tried to talk to the boss, but seeing no response, he thought it was an NPC and started to leave. The boss got angry at seeing him walk away and used its chain ability to trap him. He couldn't defend himself as he was a level 1 skeleton with no abilities. But luckily, just before the boss could end his life, it was crushed by a giant boss passing through the area. He found himself in the zone of the Pure Dark Kingdom, the birthplace of all advanced bosses in the game, making it the most dangerous and high-level zone in the game. Lu Lai was confused as he didn't know how to progress in the game since there were no missions for him in the zone he was in. So he called CC, and she found a mission 100 kilometers away from his current location. He started his journey towards the mission, having to escape from several monsters along the way. After running for a long time, he reached a city. Afe had already reached level 5, while Lu Lai was still just a level 1 skeleton. There were 2 entrances to the city. The first entrance had a long queue, while the second entrance had only 3 people. He approached the second entrance, where 2 guards attended to him. The guards let him in without any resistance. He didn't know that he had just entered a death tournament, where peasants like him were mercilessly killed. He entered the arena as the last contestant of the day. The rabbit host of the tournament exposed his statistics, and being a level 1 skeleton, he became the object of mockery from the audience and the fighters. The Storm Cloud arena battles had quite simple rules. They were one-on-one fights in the arena, and the last one standing would be the winner. To make the fights fair, the levels of all contestants were adjusted to match the lowest level contestant, which was level 10. To win the fight, it was necessary to make the opponent surrender or end their life. The winner of the tournament would receive many experience points along with an epic weapon corresponding to their level. All contestants' levels, including Lu Lai's, were adjusted to level 10, causing some of them to be unable to use their best abilities. At that moment, Lu Lai regretted entering through the wrong entrance. Now that he had temporarily reached level 10, he could choose his initial class. During the beta play with his older brother, he was very skilled with the assassin class, so this time, he also chose the assassin class. In addition to the level boost, he also received a sharp dagger as his weapon. With the equipment and level boost, if he couldn't win, he could surrender at any time to avoid dying. This tournament was hosted by Zhuang Huaishui, a famous person from the Blood Moon City, and Wu Yu, the beauty of the city. Those who achieved good results would have the opportunity to be recruited by one of them. Lu Lai finally had a clue about his older brother. Wu Yu knew everything that happened in the city, so he had to find a way to get closer to her. The most famous contestant was Bloodclaw from the Blood Lion clan. He represented the new generation of the Lion clan, and his sharp claws were invincible. He won his first fight with just 1 blow. The next contestant was the swordsman Zombie Beilei, the leader of the Great Sword Sect. His sword was fast and precise, making even experts unable to rival his technique. He also defeated his opponent with just 1 blow. The third winner was the demon Jier, a fighter with incredible strength. The fourth winner was Lu Lai, and people were surprised that a level 1 skeleton had won a match. Now, only 4 contestants remained with 3 rounds left. The first battle was between Lu Lai and Jier. Jier advised him to surrender as he didn't like crushing the weak. On the other hand, Afe had already annihilated all the goblins in the area and had made several friends. Lu Lai refused Jier's proposition and decided to fight. Jier attacked him with a swift strike, but to his surprise, Lu Lai easily dodged the attack. Taking advantage of Lu Lai's retreat, he used a charged attack, but this attack was also evaded by him. What Jier didn't know was that Lu Lai was an extremely intelligent person. In an instant, he had already calculated the length of Jier's arms and blades, and he only needed to keep about 200 centimeters away to avoid all of his attacks. Lu Lai had already anticipated Jier's next move. He was going to use a straight charge. Lu Lai was going to seize the moment to finish him off. The mockery from the spectators quickly infuriated Jier, and he furiously attacked with the straight charge. But to his misfortune, his attack had already been foreseen by Lu Lai. He took advantage of the moment and used his skill, Critical Strike, ending Jier's life. Both the host and the audience went wild with excitement at witnessing his overwhelming victory. Huaishui and Wu Yu were impressed to see a level 1 skeleton defeat Jier effortlessly. Now, the battle between Bloodclaw and Beilei began. Bloodclaw mocked Beilei for being of inferior lineage. Beilei swiftly started his attack, a movement that was 5 times faster than Jier's. But just before the blow could land, Bloodclaw stopped the sword with his teeth and shattered it into pieces. Taking advantage of his vulnerability, Bloodclaw ended Beilei's life. The entire audience adored him, and Huaishui and Wu Yu were impressed by his combat skills. Lu Lai realized that even though Bloodclaw's level had been reduced to 10, his basic attributes were still stronger than his own. According to his analysis, he didn't have many opportunities to defeat Bloodclaw, but he couldn't give up. He had to win the competition to get closer to Wu Yu. If he surrendered now, he would never be able to find his lost brother. His older brother and younger brother were his only family in this world, and he considered them more important than his own life. The final battle in the arena between Lu Lai and Bloodclaw began. Lu Lai started with a swift strike. His speed was slower than the swordsman's, but as an assassin, he could change his attack direction even in the air. Bloodclaw managed to dodge the attack at the last second thanks to his reflexes and countered with a powerful strike. Bloodclaw was too strong, and Lu Lai's speed wouldn't give him any advantage in this fight. Lu Lai had managed to cut Blood Claw's face, humiliating him as he had been wounded by the weakest of them all in front of the entire crowd. Blood Claw used his passive ability called Blood Battle, which allowed him to increase his speed by 20% for 5 seconds. He quickly advanced toward Lu Lai and delivered a powerful blow that he could barely block. Due to the blow, Lu Lai lost his balance and got trapped in a corner. Blood Claw took this opportunity to deliver the final blow, but what he didn't know was that Lu Lai had been waiting for this moment. Lu Lai had a very powerful ability called Backstab, which allowed him to teleport behind his opponent. He used the ability and teleported behind Blood Claw, but just as he was about to finish him off, Blood Claw used the Roar of Rage, immobilizing Lu Lai for 5 seconds. Blood Claw drew Huai Shui's attention as he had awakened this ability at such a young age. Taking advantage of Lu Lai's immobilization, Blood Claw cut off one of his arms and one of his legs. Lu Lai had lost his speed, so the outcome of the fight was already decided. Blood Claw had no intention of sparing his life even if he surrendered, but what he didn't know was that Lu Lai had been waiting for this moment. The arrogant Blood Claw approached to torture Lu Lai slowly, but just as he stepped on the severed leg, Lu Lai stood up and threw both daggers, controlling the severed arm. Just before the first dagger hit, Lu Lai used the Backstab ability and teleported behind Blood Claw, inflicting grave injuries with both daggers. Both Huai Shui and Wu Yu were speechless. From the beginning, Lu Lai had provoked Blood Claw to lower his guard, and he had cut off his own limbs to show signs of weakness. Lu Lai was about to deliver the final blow to Blood Claw, but Huai Shui intervened and eliminated part of Lu Lai's body with a powerful ability. But luckily, this had caught the attention of Wu Yu. She picked up Lu Lai's head and healed his body. Furious at what Huai Shui had done, she attacked him with a powerful ability, destroying part of the arena and injuring Huai Shui. She had saved Lu Lai to make him her personal possession. This is the end of the video as there are no more chapters, but if you would like to see the next part, don't forget to subscribe and comment part 2.